Looks like everything's in working order. Dill, if you're still in here, what's up? Mr. Money Mike Madness. Got the notification this time. Thank God. What's going on, Mike? Who's going to donate $800 this stream? I hope no one does. What's up, Ben? Happy spring training week. Happy spring training week to you as well. Genetic, Prodigy, Snowflake. Another Corbin. Is that a real Corbin or just someone trying to rip off my name? What's up, Mason? Two Masons. Clip, my man. Prodigy, of course. Mr. Bob Dylan, how are you? Anyone know how I can become a member again? It won't let me join. If you go to the join tab when you go to the homepage, if you're on desktop, it should let you join that way. Heard Devers isn't happy. I wouldn't say Devers is not happy. I just think he's got issues. Also, I'm testing out putting the new intro as the new stream intro. What do you guys think? I don't know if I love it. I'm mixed on it. Who else we got in the chat here? Ryan, mid take or mild take. Costa signs an extension before opening day, and Roman Anthony signs one the day he's called up. I think that's kind of a hot take. It would take the Red Sox front office giving him a legitimate contract. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Mr. Money Mike Madness, how are you? I have a Cedon Rafaela rookie card just saying, Corbin, if you want to do a giveaway. Maybe we do a little giveaway tonight. We got to figure that out. I got to figure out how to do that on the new computer. What's up, Taylor? Bucky, Terry, Brendan. I'm good, man. How you doing? Haven't been on a live stream in a while. You haven't really missed a whole lot in terms of live streams. Because we haven't really... I got a good feeling about tonight, Chad. I got a good feeling. I don't know why. Honestly, there's no inside information, nothing like that. I just have a good feeling. I should have a good feeling about tonight and a little news, hopefully. Hardneck changed names to Laser Show. I like Laser Show better. Your name really is Corbin? Heck yeah. I feel like there are very rare Corbins in the world. I like that it's spelled with a K. Mine's with a C. Live in Boston too. Roman Anthony is in what? Double A? Yes. What part of Mass do I live? I live on the South Shore. Devers just feels the same way we do. True. Monty signed tonight. I don't know who it's going to be. I just have a feeling. Corbin Burns, he's a Corbin. That is true. Monty to the Sox, 4 or 5 years, last 2 team options. That's a bold break. What's up, Colin? Action, what's going on? I feel like there are a lot of people in here who haven't been in here in a minute. We got a lot to talk about today. Corbin Carroll. Yeah, Corbin Carroll is I think Corbin Carroll and Corbin Burns are carrying the Corbin name right now. Hopefully I can do that one day. Did I hear Papillion today? Papillon, yes. I did hear Papillon. I'm making a video tomorrow about all the players who have called out the Red Sox. That's going to be the video title for tomorrow. So that's sort of... I don't know if we want to start there. There's a lot to talk about, right? Sam Kennedy, yesterday, I think it was, said that the Red Sox do have a hard budget on Craig Breslow now. I don't know why. I really don't know why my camera's been doing that lately. I have no idea what's going on with that. So we got that to talk about. We've got spring training news, all sorts of spring training news. Bobby Dahlbeck, Cedon Rafaela, Josh Winkowski, talk about him a little bit. Obviously the Devers, all that sort of contract stuff we could talk about. Hey, Tom. Hey, Megan. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So we got a whole bunch of stuff going on in today's live stream. So I don't know where you guys want to start. Do we want to start with this sort of hard budget? I think we've sort of understood that was a thing for a while, but he actually said it. I believe it was yesterday. We could talk about the latest on Monty, but I don't know if that is there's really much there. What's up, Jackson? What are my thoughts on Adam Duvall? Are the Sox still in on him? Here's where I'm at. I think where I'm at with the Red Sox and signing people is if someone falls in their lap, they'll sign them. But I don't think they're going. And this is just my opinion. I could be proven wrong, right? Obviously, I've been proven wrong like 1,000 times on this channel already. My gut is telling me that they're not trying to go out and actually aggressively pursue anyone at this point, and that they've got these feelers out there. Maybe they got an offer or two on the table or something like that, and they're just sort of sitting back and they're like, if anyone falls to us, we'll take them. If not, well, this is the team we're going to be with. And that's just sort of where I'm at right now. But I just, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question truthfully. Hope they sign one starting pitcher. What's up, Salty? The hard budget is consistent with the hard budget is consistent with that they will spend less than last year, which is what they said a month ago. Yeah, but what they said a month ago is sort of what you just said, right? They expect their budget to be lower than last year. Now, that didn't necessarily mean that they had set the hard budget. What that had meant was that that's what they were planning on spending, right? That was sort of where they were at right now. As I'm talking about a hard budget, I get a RedSox.com ticketing email. Always funny to get those. But either way, right, to actually hear that, iTalk Studio. What was it clip? What was the news? Can you see another 25 home run season from Dahlbeck again? I love Bobby. I still think there's opportunity for him to be a solid big league player, but I think in order to do that, he's going to have to get everyday at bats, and I don't think it's going to happen with the Red Sox. I really don't. I think there's a ability there to be that person. I don't think it gets done with the Sox because I think he needs everyday at bats. He needs that consistency, and he's just not getting it with Boston. Have you watched the mic'd up videos with the Reds? Okay, I need to talk about these mic'd up videos. These things are getting me very excited for this Netflix special. If this is sort of what the Netflix special is going to look like, they're a lot of fun. Sign Jake Bowers. Red Sea Radio. Hey, Corbin, I don't know if you trust Isaac as a source, but you just dropped some huge stuff on Montgomery. I can at you if you want. Yeah, we're not very, yeah, I don't think you can at me in his stuff. I'll say that. But we can talk about it. I mean, iTalk is a very, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to put a ton of stock into that, Genetic, just because, for him to just say, here the Red Sox spoke to Jordan Montgomery last week, I think that was sort of understood that the Red Sox are in communication with him. Feels like there's a decent chance the Sox get him. I mean, it's not really news when you break it down. It sounds like news, right? It does sound a bit like news, but if you break it down, hearing the Red Sox spoke to Jordan Montgomery last week. Okay, so everyone's been saying that the Red Sox are speaking to Jordan Montgomery, okay? They're trying to sign him at the right price. I mean, obviously, right? Obviously. That's probably why he hasn't been signed yet, is because every team's trying to wait for him to go down to the right price. That's with all four of these free agents left, with Bellinger, with Chapman, with Snell, and with Montgomery. That's what they're doing, basically. Every team in Major League Baseball is all their prices are here right now, and every team in Major League Baseball thinks they're here. So I don't really know if that's super big news. All right, thank you for tagging it with me, Genetic. Thank you. 49 patch all year? True. Nothing better than watching Red Sea Radio and eating chilling. Man, I haven't had chili in a minute. With Liam Hendricks aiming to be back at the deadline, Kenley traded the deadline rather than now. That it makes it more likely that he signed or traded at the deadline, in my opinion. I think it all comes down to, at the end of the day, when Liam Hendricks came back and in what capacity he can actually come back in, right? Because there's a big difference between, he's ready full go to basically, take over the closer role for the rest of the season, Or yeah, he can come back, but we got to use him in some limited capacity for 2 or 3 months before we can let him full go. You know what I mean? Mason, thank you so much for becoming a member, my friend, and welcome to the box seats. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We had some class to chat for Mason. Corbin, Yankees and Snell are working on a contract. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. Blake Snell is trending, though. Yeah, I don't see anything on Blake Snell. Oh. Well, Glenel has not been right a single time. I like Glenel. He hasn't been right a single time. So, how many years is too many for Montgomery for me? I think anything over 5 is too many years, Rowdy. I think Hendricks becomes a 6-inning guy, and then the following year he's a closer. See, that's kind of what I'm talking about, Salty, right? Because I think I'm along the same lines as you, where if you're looking at Hendricks, and first of all, the breakdown of the deal is fantastic. I don't know if you guys have seen the deal. I don't know if you guys have seen the deal itself, but I can bring up the full breakdown. It's perfect, in my opinion, in terms of what you'd be getting for Liam Hendricks. So this year, 2024, he'll have a $2 million salary. Next year, he'll have a $6 million salary with incentives that could push him up to $10 million. So essentially, you're paying absolutely nothing for him to rehab here. And then you give him $10 million the next year, which is, if he performs the way he's performed over the last few seasons, and he does come back the way you hope he can come back, that's an absolute steal. And then you got a mutual option for 2026, which usually isn't getting picked up. So I mean, it's a perfect contract for Liam Hendricks. But you look at it and you're like, okay, whatever you could get from Hendricks in 24 is an absolute blessing. And in my opinion, that doesn't exactly point to Kenley being traded, because you just don't know what he's going to look like. You just don't know. The whole deal can get up to 2 years, $20 million. No, I think the most he could come up to is 32, 34 million. 34 million. 2-year salary 2024, no incentives in 24, so it's $2 million. This is it this year. $6 million, and then incentives to get up to $10 million. So that's $12 million if he can hit all of his incentives. And then if they pick up the mutual option, that goes to $24 million. Or they buy him out and that goes to $14 million. So no, not quite, but yeah, it can be pretty expensive. If he's good, it's worth it though, in my opinion. Yeah, I saw the math on that, Tracy. If the Yankees signed him to a quick 2-year deal, they'd be paying him like $80 million a year in terms of like what they'd pay in taxes and everything. So I do not see that. Oops, sorry. 3 years, $70 million might honestly get Monty at this point. Yeah, but the problem with that, Brady, is that every other team that wants Montgomery is going to put that on the table, and he's already basically said if he's going to take a short-term deal like that, he's going to go to a contender. So if he gets 3 years from the Red Sox but 2 years from the Phillies, he's going to take the 2 years from the Phillies. So in order to really, unless you could somehow get, unless the Phillies or the Yankees or whoever else is in on Montgomery backs out, you're going to have to give him years. And I don't know if they actually do that. Craig Breslow has done a great job with contract and what he's allowed to do. It's all on owners and the budget. Yeah, it is. I broke down when I heard the Hendricks news because my friend mistyped and said it was 2 years, $20 million AAV, and I almost hated. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Didn't necessarily mean that Hendricks would come into the closer role at the deadline. Rather, it's a back-end guy that could make. Yeah, it could, Gad. It could, and I think you're onto something, and I think that's definitely a very distinct possibility. We just don't know what you're gonna get from Hendricks, which is why I think it would be wise to at least hold on to Kenley for now and stop putting the rumors out there. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like for the Red Sox, it doesn't make a ton of sense to trade him now. Both Whitlock and Houck have looked like dogs when they're on. Do they put it together this year? If so, as starters or in the pen? Thinking Witt for 7th, 8th, Houck as a starter. Harrison, I think it's going to be a battle. I really think it's going to be a battle. And honestly, I think right now you give the upper hand to Whitlock, which sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but from everything we've heard, that's weird unknown. Maybe you already have one. It's just glitched. Were you able to get into the members-only live stream last week? And I'll tell you why I think it's Whitlock. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree because of his injury history, and that's the biggest problem. But I also think he has the higher ceiling. He's got that clean 3-pitch mix with his slider, his sinker, really a 4-pitch mix with his sinker, fastball, changeup, slider. That's already sort of established. And he's put on weight this summer in a good way. He's really coming to camp fighting for a position, and I think that gives him a little bit of an upper hand. Unknown, do you follow me on anything else? We could try and figure this out off stream. Do you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or something? If you just DM me, we'll be able to figure it out, I think, off stream. What's up, Joseph? Yeah, I really like the Hendricks deal as well. I really like it. I like adding Monty because it would give us a pen of Whitlock, Houck, Martin, Kenley, Hendricks when he's healthy. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, message me there, unknown. We'll figure it out off stream. Yeah, I still think versatility. I still think one of them ends up in the rotation because if you add Monty and say it's Bayo, Monty, Giolito, Cutter, Pavetta, yeah, I guess you would push. Yeah, so because right now you've got Wink, Whitlock, Houck all fighting for that 5th spot. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's weird the Red Sox, like, one of the reasons why my sort of faith in the whole Jordan Montgomery sweepstakes is failing a little bit is because, one, the budget, right? Them saying, Chris Cotillo coming out and saying he'd be surprised if the budget was over $206 million. But two, because you're starting to see them put a lot of emphasis. The guys, it's always a pattern, right? The guys that they put in sort of the spotlight at the beginning of spring are going to be pushed into big role. Last year, one of the guys they really started to put into the spotlight was Kike Hernandez. Every press conference, Alex Cora talking about his defense, talking about his leadership, right? It was every press conference. This year, it's a lot of Houck, it's a lot of Whitlock, it's a lot of Winkowski. It's a lot. Thoughts on Ed saying Wink may start the year in AAA? In my opinion, that depends on what they actually end up with bullpen depth. If they get into mid-spring training and they're like, man, Isaiah Campbell and Justin Slayton, they just, they can't get the movement on their changeup or their fastball's flat or whatever it is, they might move one of them. Guess the first word of my first video. What's up, everybody? Are straight up lies? They're not lies, Justin, now. What's up, Erlen? Devers making a statement, putting ownership on blast. Yeah, he did. Oh, no, the title? It was about Kyle Schwarber, Ruse, I think. What if we heavily backload Monty's deal, some like $60 million, 24, 23, 26, 28? Yeah, I mean, the smart thing to do is it is Schwarber. Yeah, I thought so. The smart thing to do for the Red Sox would be front. What is going on with my camera? I swear to God. Yeah, to me, unknown. I don't have any followers on Instagram. I think the smart thing for the Red Sox to do would be front load it, right? Because you already have so much money coming off the books over the next couple of years. And you want to start tying down your core. You don't want as much money off the books as you can once this core is ready and extendable. The smart thing to do would be to front load it, but we know how that goes. We know the answer to that question. One thing's for sure, ownership and front office have failed Devers and the fans this offseason. No getting around that. I don't think you're wrong there. Does Henry now make a big move since everyone's calling him out? I don't know. I really, honestly, I put this, so here, the title, I could show you the thumbnail, actually. I'll show you the thumbnail of the video. This is the thumbnail. Oh, I can't even put up a PNG. Hold on, I gotta get the thumbnail up here. Oh. And I'll talk about it a little bit, just so you guys get a little quick preview here. This is a thumbnail. I actually think it's pretty creative. I just got your follow, Genetic. Thank you. Joey, thank you so much for reigniting your membership to the standing room. I really appreciate that. Can we get some claps to the chat? Yeah, I can't believe I found that image and I was like, oh man, I gotta save this for later. But here is my thoughts on the Rafael Devers stuff here. Let me make sure Joey gets his day in the sun. So here's my sort of thoughts on this whole everyone calling him out thing. We're at the point now, and here's the big thing with all of this, is it's not just random players. It's not Rob Refsnyder, Jaron Duran, who I love, by the way. I love Jaron Duran, but it's not those caliber of players. It's Dustin Pedroia, a Red Sox legend, a staple of this franchise, right? If you talk about second base or you talk about what it means to play for the Boston Red Sox, especially in the era of winning, you're talking about Jason Varitek, Tim Wakefield, David Ortiz, and Dustin Pedroia. That's realistically who you're talking about when you talk about the Red Sox way of things. Maybe you had Pedro in there too, but that's it, right? Then you've got Kenley, a future Hall of Fame closer, one of the best closers to ever do it. And you've got Rafael Devers, the face of your franchise. He doesn't like being called that. He is that. He is the face of your franchise. He's the guy that you invested in over everybody else. This is who you're talking about. You're not talking about Fred Lynn, who's 40 years removed. You're not talking about this is essentially like, for those of you who are a little bit older and trying to figure this out, this is like saying Dennis Eckersley, Jim Rice, and David Ortiz come out and they say, hey, ownership, what are you doing, right? It's very similar cast and crew. These are mainstays in Red Sox history. And for them to come out in just the first week of spring training, we're not talking about towards the end. This is the first week. This is the first time they've been put in front of a camera. Rafael Devers has never done this. He's never been this honest in a press conference. So for him to come out and say, hey, wait a second, we should have done more this offseason is chilling. It's chilling. It really is. But the question is now, you look at it and you're saying, okay, fans have been in an uproar all offseason, right? We've been screaming it from the rooftops this entire offseason. Analysts, not just Red Sox analysts, national analysts are screaming it from the rooftops. They're saying, what are the Red Sox doing? Now you've got your own players. You've got your own players saying, what are the Red Sox doing? That is everyone in the room. And it scares the hell out of me that the only person in the room not realizing, hey, maybe we should switch things up a bit, is the actual ownership of the team. That is my concern. And that's the big thing that I got out of that. I agree, versatility. It's rough. Where are our pitchers? I thought Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow were supposed to be pitching geniuses. Well, Tom, the season hasn't started yet. Andrew Bailey doesn't bring people in. All this complaining, but if Montgomery's deal ages badly, which in likelihood it will, all the people wanting Montgomery will blame Breslow for that. I don't think that's entirely true. I think you're making an assumption that it'll age poorly. And if you look at the metrics, he's the type of pitcher. What's up, Dennis? He's the type of pitcher that he relies a lot on his off-speed stuff, right? Normally when you see, like Blake Snell's kind of a perfect example of a concern that is going to age poorly if you give him a long-term deal, right? Because if you look at Blake Snell, what he relies on a lot of is swing and misses outside of the zone because he has such a good fastball. He's also had an injury history, and he also gives up a lot of walks. Jordan Montgomery over the past 4 years has made 30-plus starts. He relies a lot on swings and misses inside the zone on off-speed stuff. He's not a flamethrower. This is the type of pitcher that ages gracefully, normally, right? Obviously, tons of things can happen, but in terms of just pure outlook on what he looks like, he's starting now. You sign him through 35. What he looks like at 35 is pretty good. Look at how long Greinke played, and it's because he wasn't a fastball guy. Right. Yeah, okay, Justin. What's the expectations for us to try? Wasn't the expectations for us to try and be competitive in 26? Yeah, I think they've never come out and said that, obviously, because they're not going to come out and say that, but that's just sort of assumptions here that by 2026 they'll be genuinely competitive. I don't know when the actual timeline is. Hopefully we look back at the end of the season, they perform and make the playoffs. That'd be nice. 4+ deals for 30-year-old guys age badly for the most part. Look at the top 10 paid pitchers in 24. Only Cole and Castillo weren't bad deals. Again, it depends on the type of pitcher, right? And like I said, historically, if you're talking about a pitcher that relies a lot on, and also Justin Verlander, not a bad deal. DeGrom, you knew what you were getting into, giving him a lot of money. Scherzer, yeah, I guess you could say that, but he's also, what, 40 years old? Scherzer's what? Yeah, he's 40 years old. When he was 38, he had a 3.20 ERA with Texas. What are some good pitching prospects and any coming up this season? I think we could see some. I guess it depends on injuries and performance. Okay, Tom. Like if you want to sit there and assume everything's gonna blow up, you can. I just don't think it's a good way of going about looking at Red Sox fandom, but I'm not gonna sit here and try and argue with you as to why they aren't going to be those guys, but yeah, we're not going to. Also, Manuel Margot's like a really solid major league player, so I would be happy if any of our prospects turned into Manuel Margot, but that's besides the point. Duvall or Pham or Young? Who's Young? Still no interest in Montgomery. We just got a tweet from we got a little bit of information that they could be interested, Kevin. I think they are interested. I think they're just trying to figure out what price point they're interested in. And honestly, I don't know what that's going to be. Are you talking about Michael A. Taylor, Eric? Is that who you're talking about? I don't know who Young is, but between Duvall and Pham, does it really matter? Like, does it really matter? Is it unhealthy to be reloading X every 2 minutes? No, I do that. I do that constantly. I'm doing it this live stream. I'm literally doing it right now. Honestly, between Duvall and Pham, the only reason I'd pick Pham is because he's a little bit healthier. But I don't think either of them are really going to transcend this team, you know? Step outside for a second, and Monty. You know what's going to happen? Monty's going to sign the second I get off stream. Who did I just type in? Telling you we get Lorenzen and Pham. That wouldn't surprise me. What's up, Jorge? Is this whole offseason middle finger to Boris? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Can't wait for the season to start. Me either. Yeah, when you look at Duvall versus Pham, they're essentially the same player, right? Duvall had zero point 0.1 more WAR than he did. In all fairness, it was in 92 games versus 129 games for Pham, so that says something. Duvall led him in slug, OPS, and OPS plus. Pham leads Duvall in RBI, stolen bases, batting average, and on base percentage. So it's just whatever one they like more. I don't know. If he signs when you get off, would you go back to a live? No, I would make the most ridiculous video of all time is what I would do. That's literally what I would do. I appreciate that, Jorge. Thank you. Where's our pitching prospects? We just traded for a couple. I know that guy that we signed, Sandlin. What's interesting is people say, oh, where's the pitching prospects? But just this offseason, right, they bring in Richard Fitz, who is now the 11th highest prospect in your entire farm system. David Sandlin, who is now the 13th highest pitching prospect in your farm system. And those are both legitimate people who could start. And then you add in Luis Perales, Wilkerman Gonzalez. And you got, I would say, 5 of your top 15 are pitching prospects. Whether or not they work out, that remains to be seen. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of your top 15. It depends on the contract, Pac-Man. Former Rookie of the Year, Kyle Lewis is a free agent. Is he worth a shot? I don't know. Honestly, he could be. It depends on whether or not they think they can actually get him back to where he was. Honestly, Michael A. Taylor. Yeah, that's who I think Eric was talking about, Michael A. Taylor. And if it's Michael A. Taylor, I think I'm taking Michael A. Taylor. I don't know. The GOAT video is still your Bogarts video? Yeah, it would be similar, but happy. My wife and I just bought our first house. What's some good ideas for a man cave? Oh, that's a good question. What I've always wanted to do, and I don't know if this is something you would be interested in doing, is because I'm in an apartment right now. I obviously can't do anything to the walls, like painting wise, but I've always kind of wanted to have like it almost looks like this back wall behind you or wherever you are is what I would do is paint like the pesky pole here, like over here, right? This would be the pesky pole, and then I'd have like a jut out here with all the retired numbers. I love the retired numbers look. Is so cool to me. So I'd put that over there, and then over here I'd paint like the green monster. So it almost looks like you're sitting in at like home plate at Fenway Park. And then outside of that, I would do, get a little memorabilia collection going. I really like the idea of hanging the jerseys. I think that looks pretty clean. A wall with a dartboard with John Henry's face. Well, there's an idea. You obviously got to get a big old TV. Big old TV. Those are my idea. Congratulations on your house, by the way, Taylor. Yeah, hopefully you can use them because I would love to. Get a custom neon sign. Yeah. Head to Whitebeard Designs. Whitebeard Designs on Instagram and get yourself a Red Sox. Where's my thingy? Red Sox light up wooden sign. These are sick. This would be perfect for a man cave. Are we still concerned for starting pitching this year? I like Giolito over Sale. Don't get me wrong. Sale was awesome, but probably... Kevin, I'm concerned with starting pitching for sure. For sure. My uncle is part of the Green Monster on his wall. Basically Jimmy Fallon's room and Fever Pitch. Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. My friend's a Liverpool fan. He says that John Henry's struggling signing players for them too and too many injuries. Yeah. Yeah, it's eerily similar what's going on, at least from a fan perspective, what's going on in Liverpool and what's going on with the Red Sox. What offseason Sox move am I most intrigued about? I think the most important one is Lucas Giolito, but I think the one I'm most intrigued about is Vaughn Grissom because if he's really good or even solid, he completely changes the landscape of what the Red Sox pipeline is going to look like for the next couple of years. So that's the one I'm most intrigued about. But I will say definitely the most important one is Lucas Giolito, just because of how much they're putting on him right now. Duran, Yoshida, Abreu, O'Neal, Ref Snyder, all contenders to make the roster. Just feels like Ref Snyder's the odd man out if Rafaela makes it. Rafaela, to me, is going to have a monster spring training. And I honestly wouldn't put it past the Red Sox either. The other thing too with Ceddanne Rafaela is that if you bring him up past May 15th, he retains his rookie status for 2024 or 2025, meaning you get another year of control with him. So that's something to take an eye on too. I would keep an eye on that. I'm thinking third place this year, depending on how the team, especially starting pitchers. I think they'll surprise a lot of people. We'll see. Do I think Trevor Story with an OPS plus over or under 110? 110 feels like sort of the exact mark you'd expect him to be at. I'm going to be optimistic and say over. Who do you think's the X factor for pitching no one is talking about? Pitching wise, I would say one of the bullpen, Isaiah Campbell. Justin Slayton's another one to pay attention to. I would say those two. Our starting pitching is 2 3s, 1 4, and 3 5s. 7 starters. I didn't know there were 7-man rotations in Major League Baseball. Quite sad that Ryu's signing Korea. Thought we might sneaky pick up. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe he just didn't want to wait. If we sign Monty this stream, I'll super chat $100. How about if we don't sign Monty? No, I'm kidding. A 6-man, well, 2 3s. I see, Tyler. 2 3s, 1 4, and 3 5s. 3 5s would be what? Pavetta, Houck, Whitlock. 1 4 be Cutter. 2 3s would be Bayo and Giolito. I don't think that's too far off. I think their ceilings are higher than those, but that's sort of what it's at right now. If offered, does Cora come back the next season? Honestly, Kevin, here's what I've been picking up on in interviews with Cora with the press. Every time he mentions 2024, he says we, right? When he's talking about the 2024 rotation or he's talking about any of that. But when he gets asked questions about like, hey, where does Meyer fit in 2025 and 2026? He mentions the Red Sox as the franchise, which is always interesting to me. I think given a good amount of money, he'd come back. But I think it'd have to be more than if the Dodgers and the Red Sox are both bidding for Alex Cora and they give him the same contract, I would not be surprised one bit to see him go to the Dodgers. If we don't sign Monty, you owe us $100. Okay. Henry's not signing Montgomery, whose wife goes to medical school in Boston, was a major bonehead move. Don't get me started on Turner and Duvall. Well, I mean, Monty hasn't signed anywhere yet, Eric. I'd guess Ross. Yeah, I don't think it'd be Tech right away. I don't. And honestly, I don't know if Tech wants the job. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't know if Tech wants the job. Like, I could see Tech being like, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and work with the catchers. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I saw the iTalk Studio stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the iTalk Studio stuff. Go to the Giants. Need Pap to kick down. Yeah. Kind of trust iTalk. I kind of broke it down earlier. My thing with iTalk is what he said is nothing really new. Does that make sense, Depressed? Like you talk about the first sentence there. The Red Sox are talking to Montgomery. We've known that for a while. The waiting for his price to come down, we already kind of knew that for a while. And then him saying, I think you have a good chance, just sort of opinion, right? So he's been right before, and I'm not going to discount it at all at one bit. I'm just saying, you know. Dennis, that would be great for me. Kenley and Martin on opening day. Wow, that would surprise me. Yeah, I think they're both on the opening day roster. I don't. To me now, it's the deadline. Imagine if a Red Sox. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Who signs first, Montgomery or Snell? I'm gonna say Monty signs first. Because I think his market's a tiny bit bigger than Snell's, and I think Snell is going to be more hard pressed to get because in all honesty, he's the former Cy Young winner. He's the guy who he just won a Cy Young. You know what I mean? Like if I'm him, I'm like, yeah, man, I want to get paid. Appreciate that, Laser Show. Oh, what do I call you now? You watch? Of course I am. To watch Red Sox baseball, yes. I always watch the game against Northeastern. It's a lot of fun. Realistically speaking, what do you think is realistic to expect of Meyer, Anthony, and Teal and other Betts, Bogarts, JBJ level player? Appreciate that versatility. To put the Betts, Bogarts stamp on these guys before they've made their major league debut, to me is just, I'm not going to do it. Obviously the ceiling is super high. What to expect from them, I don't know. To be honest with you, my ideal situation is obviously all three of these guys end up being exactly what they're projected to be. But I would also be happy if one of them is an all-star and the other two of them are solid everyday players. Right? I think that's sort of where I'm at. If they are solid everyday players, I think it was worth waiting for because they're going to be solid everyday players for 7, 6, 8 years, whatever it is, with the Red Sox minimum. You know what I mean? So putting Betts, Bogarts, and JBJ on Meyer, Anthony, and Teal is a lot. It's great to see Rafi being more vocal at his presser today. Definitely a sign he's getting more comfortable. I agree. Seeing him actually voice a legitimate opinion, seeing him, sort of take on that Bogarts-esque role. Remember Bogarts in 22 was talking about it? Mr. Money Mike Madness, the second person, I believe, unless Versatility also already ticked it in. It was Clip. And the Versatility, are you on 12 months too? You're either the second or third one to hit a full year as a member. So thank you so much, Mike. Can we get some claps in the chat, please? I am too, CJ. I am too, just in case. 1 full year. That's weird. A full calendar. I can't believe I got membership status a year ago. That's pretty wild. Think Roman is a superstar. Teal and Meyer are very good top 10 position players. I think, yeah. And honestly, it's a little bit interchangeable, right? I think one of them will be. Sorry, Genetic. It's frustrating being a Sox fan, but think about the San Diego Padres. Yeah, that's true. Price was worth it. Price was worth it. Who's saying Price wasn't worth it? My opinion, Duran, Rafaela, Martin / Kenley with Nick York complete a trade for a controllable starting pitcher. Yeah, of course, Taylor. Anytime. I think it's a possibility that happens. I don't know all at once. Because the problem is if you're attaching Kenley to any trade, even if it's with a Cedon or a Duran and a Nick York, you're diminishing the value of those players because you're not taking on any of his $16 million in contract, right? So you're going to get less with Kenley. Now, that's not the same thing with Martin, who had a much better season last year. So I don't know if that gets it done, Tyler, to be honest with you. If you're looking for a legitimate big-time impact player, yeah. Also, I have 5 of these to give away, so let's give these away. I have 5 memberships to give away. Where's the membership button? I thought I could just do it. Show support for Red Sea Radio. No. Anyone remember? 67 and 95 win season. That's what you're expecting. I think they win more than 60 games. I'm willing to bet anyone any amount of money that they win 70 or more games this season. As the over-under at 78, yeah, that's what I think most major places have that. They are killing us, bro. Yeah, I was saying this earlier off stream to one of my friends. I get even with everything that's gone on with the Red Sox, I was still so excited for spring training. Like, I was so excited. Max 72 wins. Prodigy, I'll bet you a $50 super chat. I will send you a card worth $50 if they win more than 72 wins. I will. 85 and 77. I heard you still got a new PC. Apple. You'll bet 50 yourself? All right, let's do it. 50 on the over on 72. That's what I thought. Man, no more. I keep refreshing Twitter, just hoping something happens. What'd you say, Gritty? You talk about the Devers comments yet? A little bit, Gritty. I talked about it tomorrow's video. I'm going in depth on everything. So this is what the thumbnail looks like tomorrow. But what I said is, yeah, I think it's once you have a Red Sox legend, a future Hall of Famer in the face of your franchise saying something, you know, there's clearly something going on. And I don't know if that's going to end in something positive or if it's going to derail the season yet. That's sort of my thought process. Giving out 5 memberships, I am. I don't know how to do it, to be honest with you. I don't remember. Remember last month, Chad, I was able to give out memberships. Maybe I have to wait a full 30 days. JD signed with the Giants or Marlins. I think he goes to the Mets. Henry and Werner need to go focus on golf and soccer. Sell a team. Yeah, that'd be great. If they made the Red Sox public, that'd be so nice. What's the one transaction you'd like to see the Boston Red Sox make before opening day? The answer to that's super obvious. It's Jordan Montgomery. But if I don't want to go with the opposite one, the obvious one, I don't know why I said opposite. Obvious one, I would say bringing in a guy like, God, I don't even know, man, to be honest with you. Lorenzen, maybe? What's the minimum amount of wins they need to get into a playoff spot? If you're going off of last year, it's 89. Last year there were some good teams, man. And I don't know if they're going to be that same amount of really, really good teams this year. I'm gonna say 87 wins puts you very close to a playoff spot, if not in one. All they have to do is grab both. Yeah, Giselle, that's not gonna happen. They're definitely not gonna get both. They're not getting 89 wins with this current team. Here's where I'm thinking, right? Most places, not betting-wise, but prediction-wise, ESPN, Fangraphs, Baseball America, I think, did one too. They have them at 82 wins, right? 82 wins. Now, if they could stay healthy and stay on that pace, 82 wins, what's to say for 2 weeks they'd get hot and have an 11-game win streak, right? And all of a sudden, that 82 turns into an 89-win season. And I think that's totally possible. Problem is, Problem is you need consistency. And can the Red Sox be consistent? Can the Red Sox be consistent for long enough to fire those off, right? Because if they're on an 82-win pace and they finish 82-80, clearly that's not a playoff team. That's probably last place in the division, even though they're positive, right? If they have 2 weeks where all of their rotations firing, because I don't think their offense is going to be a problem. You know what I keep thinking? And it's just the nagging pessimist in me is everyone's like, oh, the offense will be fine. What if it's just the exact opposite? That'd be brutal. That'd be brutal. Yeah, Kansas City I put money on for being over, yeah. Who's our starting shortstop this year? Trevor Story. They should trade Rafaela Kenley and Brandon Walter for George Kirby. That would never in a million years be what it cost, Megacraft. It would have to be like Rafaela, Nick York, Marcelo Meyer, and Cutter Crawford. Have I had the chance to try the new Nike jerseys? No, I haven't taken a look at it yet. If Story's at shortstop, is at second base, Von Grissom. What happened in the mind of John Henry after the 19th season to be so pissed about payroll? I don't know. Yeah, the new jerseys don't look good. I don't like the new jerseys. They look ridiculous. But I think they look ridiculous with longer names. Yeah, facts, Dill. Facts. I think they look ridiculous with longer names. I don't think they look too bad with shorter names, if I'm being honest. God, my teeth look so yellow in this light. There we go. Now it just looks like everything's blue. So you guys have to deal with that. But I couldn't look at my yellow teeth anymore. Let's call up LeBron and send money to John for Montgomery. Money. We talked about this a couple of times, man. Bringing up Meyer right now would be a bad idea. Baking soda? Nah, it's just the lighting. See? My teeth aren't yellow in real life. I swear to God. Here, let me see if maybe... Yeah, that's better. We'll do this lighting. I'd love to see you make a video with Fuzzy. Yeah, I'd love to see me make a video with Fuzzy too. Yeah, I haven't taken a look at the new ones yet. It'll be interesting to see what they look like in game. Like, what do the home whites look like with those? It's the long names, man. The short names, like I don't get the huge controversy with the short names, but like Montgomery's gonna look weird on the back of a Red Sox jersey. All these other names are going to look weird in the back of a Red Sox jersey. But the short names like Reyes, Duran, Story, they'll look fine, I think. When Henry said full throttle, he meant I want to fully throttle any chance the Red Sox make the playoffs. Every team having the same font is so lame. Yeah, that is super lame. Two things I really like over last year. I believe both defense and offense will be better. Now give me Montgomery. Preach, Joseph. Preach. I think Craig, yeah, what Craig has actually done has been solid. I think all the moves he's made have made the team incrementally better. The problem is it's been incrementally better, right? As it hasn't been, like getting Tyler O'Neill might give you 1 or 2 wins more, right? Giolito, if you can get him back to normal, 1 or 2 wins more, and Grissom 1 or 2 wins more. The problem is you wanted what the problem with this offseason has been expectations versus execution. That's what the problem's been. If the Red Sox had not set these expectations, I think we'd be looking at the execution this offseason and been like, all right, this is pretty good. But you go in there, you say, we want to get high war players. We want to go full throttle and do everything we can to make this team a competitor. That's going to set some expectations of legitimate big, okay, this is going to give us 4 or 5 more wins than we had last year, just this one person alone. And it's just not like that's just not going to happen with the moves you made, right? So that's the problem. I think people just see the final win total from 23 and forget that this team was entertaining and in it through the trade deadline and totally collapsed at the end. If they if they'd gotten a legitimate starter at the trade deadline, I think we're having different conversations right now, but they didn't. Right? It's tough to look at everything in full picture sometimes. How do I rate Breslow so far? I give him a solid C plus. Oh, I agree with that, Shooter. I do agree with that. But I'm saying for 2024, right? Just going into 2024. You know? Okay, my camera's freaking me out. I don't know if this is OBS or the camera itself. What's up, Echo? He doesn't have the money to spend. It's not his fault. I agree with that, but I don't know. I don't like their catchers. Who, the Red Sox catchers? I mean, right now the catching position's a placeholder. If you can get solid defense out of the catching position, I think it's fine. Right? It's rare to expect big offensive seasons from a catching position. Most realistically, you want solid defense with some offensive potential, right? That's sort of it. And I think what they have right now gives you that, right? It gives you slightly above league average defense, and that's really all you need. And it really is all a placeholder. All right, Clip. Thanks for coming by, my man. Good luck. Good luck on midterms. Yeah, I think how Breslow finishes the offseason is gonna leave a taste in people's mouths. I think that's what's gonna happen. Realistically, right? Because that's sort of what you remember. If Breslow, and I do think there's still something else coming. I don't know what it's gonna be. I really don't, because it could look like, okay, yeah, this looks good. You know, the team's rounded out. We got the person that we wanted to get. You know, it was a successful offseason. Or it could end up being, okay, you know, that didn't end up happening, blah, 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 blah. And now everyone's sort of sitting there being like, well, he ended on a sour note. Let's see how the season does, right? Love your channel. I appreciate that, Al. Thank you. Yeah, I'm originally from New Hampshire, too. 603, baby. Exactly, Salty. So you sort of, in the catching position, you just sort of, realistically, you just sort of want someone who's going to call a good game and be solid defensively. Putting Christian Vasquez in the same category as Tech and Victor Martinez is just not something you should be doing. Christian had Christian had 2 solid seasons offensively for the Red Sox. That's about it. 2 good seasons offensively for the Red Sox. That's about it. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 seasons. So he just statistically did not have a good bat. Hot take, Kyle Teal's the Red Sox best prospect. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I think he's definitely the Red Sox most unique prospect. I got to send in some job applications. No time to talk Sox anymore tonight. But now that I'm leaving, there's a 5% chance Montgomery signs this stream. All right, Jackson. Thanks for coming by, my man. I appreciate you being here. What's his career average? Christian Vasquez? I don't know, like 240 something probably. 257. He should be an above average starter. Who? I feel like Teal is the safest prospect considering his catcher, the B bar for his bat isn't too high. Oh, the bar for his bat isn't too high. Yeah, I think Teal in my opinion, if he's a little bit above league, like if he's at like a 105 OPS plus with the defense and speed he has, I think he's a very, very solid catcher for the Red Sox. And again, when you're looking at what the Red Sox need in the catching position, they just need solid defense. The rest of their offense is deep. Yeah, and Jason Varitek wasn't a super fantastic offensive player. Tech was just a great game caller, and he was a leader, and that's what made him so great. No one ever said Jason Varitek's a fantastic hitting catcher. He was a leader, he was a game caller, and he was solid defensively. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm scared we won't be competitive for a decade. Well, I mean, I can understand why you'd be. I can understand why you'd be a little scared. I think we'll be competitive within the decade. That'd be ridiculous. You smell something in the Craig kitchen? I'm thinking something goes down tonight too. I have a feeling. Mostly because I'm putting out a video. Any chance they move Marcelo to third and take Devers to DH? I wouldn't say there's no chance of it, Ryan. Just ate chili? All right. There we go, Chad. Something big's happening tonight. Mike ate chili. It was Kevin Youkilis. No, was it Manny, Lowell, Drew, Tech? Yeah, he was an excellent game caller, Edwin. I'm not debating that. I'm saying he wasn't the best hitter in the world. Free agents are going to be losing game every good player gets locked up. Yeah, I agree with you, Shooter. Devers has to reduce errors. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, when I look at the Red Sox offense, I'm actually pretty excited, right? You look at the lineup. You look at the lineup, and it's Duran, Devers, probably Story, which would be my only concern with him being a 3. Massa, either Casas or O'Neill, flip one of those two for 5 and 6. 7. You're probably looking at Abreu or Rafaela, whoever makes the opening day roster. And then you're looking at Grissom and then Wong or O'Neill. Wong or McGuire. And I think that's pretty good. Was it Manny, Lowell, Drew, and Tag? Yeah, that's who it was. Have we discussed Devers? Yeah, a little bit, Gabriel? I'm trying to see if you're. I can't tell, because it's so small. I'm gonna go Gabriel. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I'm putting out a full video tomorrow. Break it down. Basically, everyone who's calling everyone out. Here's the thumbnail if you're interested. Because you're in the live stream, I'll show you the thumbnail. That's tomorrow's video. I think personally, I really enjoy it because I think it's good to have superstars in the face of your franchise be able to voice his opinion. Whether or not it changes anything, I don't know. Right? I really don't know. Teal had a 1.13 OPS in college. Competition with a high. Yeah, Trig, I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah. He's going to be good. Story did well higher in the batting order in Colorado. I think there is appropriate. I think we'll see. We are going to be lefty heavy, though. You know what? I think there's some precedent to be like, hey, man, we really need to figure out these lefties. But if you look at the lefties on our team, like that's where the strength in your numbers come from, right? That's where the Massas, the Devers, the Casases come from. And to that point, do I really care if it's a lefty-righty matchup a righty-lefty matchup if it's Devers at the plate or if it's Casas at the plate? Not really, right? If it's bottom of the ninth and they bring in a hard-throwing lefty, I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I really wish we had Bobby Dahlbeck in this situation, or, man, I really wish they'd signed Tommy Pham, because boy, do I want him hitting instead of Devers or Casas. That's sort of what I look at it when I talk about what the splits in a lineup looks like, right? Because that's at the end of the day. That's sort of what you're talking about, right? It would be sort of getting a Bobby Dahlbeck in matchup-wise for Tristan Casas, or signing someone like Pham or Duvall and having him pinch hit for Devers in the bottom of the ninth with a hard-throwing lefty, and you never do that. So I don't really care about too much about the idea of no left-right or a mismatched left-right lineup. How's life, Corbin? We're living, Prodigy. How you doing? I need Ortiz to be hitting coach in the future. That'd be nice. I'm really excited about seeing Casas, what he could do this season. Same. I think Rafaela is what I do for Mike McCoy. I don't even know who that is. Honestly, Mike, I have no idea who that is. I'm going to look that up. He's a football coach. I don't even know who this is, to be honest with you. Corbin, do you think Rafael is ready for Major League pitching? I looked at his minor league stats and the small window of at-bats in the big show. My gut says he might be close. Wonder what you say. I think it's sort of it's a tough question to answer, because when I look at it, right, it's the Red Sox aren't pushing their chips in this year, right? They could still be competitive because of the young core. But if they're really just sort of saying, whatever happens in 24 happens, we're focused on 25, 26, it could be beneficial to get Rafael up here and sort of get through his bumps at the major league level as opposed to the minor league level. In terms of whether he's ready or not, I don't think he's 100% there. No, I don't think he's 100% there. Preference question. Do I prefer watching the game on NESN or listening? I like watching the game because I see more. But if you're just talking pure commentary, nothing beats WEI. They genuinely, in my opinion, have the best sports commentary in the entire in any major sport. Do you think Teal could be the next JT Realmuto? I think that's a really high bar to set for him. So I would say no, because I don't want people to be like, if he's not JT Realmuto, he's a failure. Appreciate it, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Shout out 603. WAR is such a broken stat that Rafael's defense probably get him like 3 WAR. $2 super chat for Mike. We get some claps in the chat from Mr. Money Mike Madness. Mr. Money living up to his name. Thank you so much, Mike. He says Mike McCoy was an infielder, was in the Sox 2010-ish. Mike, you would have been good for our. You would have been really good for our. We did members only Sporkle. Yeah, 2014, he was in the Red Sox AAA system. I don't know how the heck you know that, but that's pretty impressive. What offseason bat would I add at this point if I could? Man, there's not really much, huh? I mean, you're kind of. Honestly, I would consider Michael A. Taylor. Is he a Boris guy? I think Michael A. Taylor might be. Yeah, he is. Oh, no. He's not. He was with Scott Boras and dropped him. Interesting. He's never going to be a crazy hitter, but his defense is incredible. And he was, let me see, last year. People keep saying he's good against lefties. I haven't looked into it to myself. I'm going to look into it right now. Yeah, against lefties, he had a 141 OPS plus, 9 home runs in 58, 112 plate appearances, 252, 313, 602 slug, 914 OPS. Realistically, that's sort of what you're looking for at this point. It's just a left-handed hitter. That's sort of what you're doing. Google has some strain power. What's up, Swingman? I like Sandlin. Yeah, I like Sandlin a lot. Oh yeah, Britch. I'm gonna do it. I do it every year right before the season starts. So a little bit. What's up, Starla? A little bit of time left, but yeah. Oh yeah, we'll be doing a whole prediction video. Would I be pleased if Teal ends up being as good as Veritek? 1,000%. Yes. Corbin, I'd be okay if the Sox signed Monty to a 2 or 3 year deal at this point. He's got to know the market has crashed. My problem with that, Lou, is I would be too, for sure. My problem with that, Lou, is there are going to be a lot of other teams offering him 2 or 3 years, and they're going to have a hard time convincing Monty that they're in it to win it this year. I remember Mike McCoy, he played for Toronto. Sox signed him during the Scudero era. Yep, that's exactly when they signed him, which is hilarious. Yeah, I agree, Shooter. They're going to have to move someone at some point to get some righties in here. Either that or that's their main focus going forward, and they replace every other position they can with righties, right? Because, you know, maybe they trade Massa or something. I would hate for that to happen, but Devers is worse than Xander. The only reason Devers has a lower WAR than Xander is because Xander plays a premium position. That's it. That's the only reason. Honestly. And probably because Xander ends up on base a little bit more, but who would you rather have in the bottom of the ninth? Actually, that's kind of a tough question. Who would you rather have? Who do you miss more? Henry Owens, Ryan Hannigan, or Chris Young? Ryan Hannigan. I don't know why, but I loved Ryan Hannigan. When do you think Monty signs? Probably, I keep saying this, probably within the next week. Think they'll trade Duran? I think if the perfect trade comes across, Al, I think they do. But their perfect trade is extremely, extremely high. So that's insulting to Chris Young. Good point. G. Ryu was going back to the KBL. I'm surprised that MLB team hasn't signed him. He might have gotten some offers, but he's now the highest paid player, I believe, ever in Korea. So, or at least at this time. So, you know, if I'm him and I've got one more year left and, you know, I love my home country, it makes sense why he'd go back, especially if he was getting, you know, 1 year, $7 million deals in the United States. Bubba Bell? I don't know who Bubba Bell is, so I guess I'm not a true Red Sox fan. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. That's exactly what I've been doing. I don't know, Corbin. I think if you put Monty on the staff, you have a damn good 5. I agree. Especially with Bayo and if his hopeful progression, and with Cutter and his hopeful progression, it could be a pretty nasty 5, or at the bare minimum, it could be a league average 5, right? Because that's sort of what you want to get to. What were the Red Sox in ERA last year? I know we talked about it at the end of the year last year, but so much has happened. God, I got oil in my eye when I was cooking dinner tonight, chat, and it's going crazy. Overall, the Boston Red Sox were 21st in team ERA in 2023. If they can get that up to 15th, 14th into that Cubs area of 408, Atlanta Braves area 414, right? But compared to 452, and then you let the offense sort of carry you, that'd be incredible. What was the Texas Rangers? So Texas Rangers were 18th. They were 3 slots above the Red Sox. The reason they made the postseason was because of the fact that they out-hit everybody. And I genuinely think that's possible for the Red Sox. But let's be honest here. 452 in 2024 seems realistic, right? That seems like about where you'd expect the Red Sox pitching staff to be. Now, if they get Montgomery and they can lower that to a 408 or a 414, I mean, you're talking about an entirely different club, right? Because now you're talking about a top 10 offense. You're talking about a top 10 offense with a top 15 or top 15 pitching staff, and that is a possible playoff team. Is it a playoff team? I don't know. It's a possible play. I mean, they were top 10 in OPS last year for the regular season, even with the abysmal hitting they had in September. They were 6th in average, 13th in on-base percentage, 9th in... I mean, you're talking about a top 10 team, right? Isn't David Ortiz's son in this year's draft? I think he's coming up. No, it's not yet. I think he's got to play some college, maybe? I don't know. Honestly, Trevor, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going yet. Sign Madison Bumgarner, mega. Huh? Missing Yamamoto was the nail in the coffin. Definitely isn't the nail in the coffin. I talked about this offseason. It doesn't kill you. It makes everything a lot more difficult because now you are relying on players like Houck, Crawford, Bayo to really take steps forward, but it's still possible. What's up, JB? Yeah, isn't that crazy, Shooter? Yeah, Trevor, I don't know. Let me see. What's his name? Luis Ortiz, right? David Ortiz's son. D'Angelo Ortiz. Yeah, it looks like he's going to yeah, it looks like he's going to... Man, he crushed. For the Brockton Sox, he had a 329 batting average, 435 on base percentage, 355 slugs, so nothing crazy. But I think it looks like, from what I could see, he's committed to a college. I don't know if that means he's going to the draft or not. Give me Zue Lin as my backup catcher, 1 career inning. With the vastness of right field at Fenway, Monty would flourish here. I agree, man. I really think he'd look good. And I think he knows that too. If you're talking about a 2 or 3 year deal, Shooter, I'm in. Anything more, I get nervous. That's sort of where I'm at with Blake Snell. Man, so you guys want to talk about Bobby Dahlbeck? You guys want to talk about Bob? You guys want to talk about Bob? Today, Bobby Dahlbeck. It was mentioned by Alex Cora that Bobby Dahlbeck has a real chance to make the team with his versatility in the outfield as well as at first and second base and his right-handed power that, quote, Alex Cora believes the Red Sox desperately need. Unquote. I don't know. We talked about it a tiny bit at the beginning. I don't absolutely hate it. I think it could be fine. But I would much rather have someone better. I would rather have someone more proven. That's what I'll say. There we go, Yo Gamer. Thank you. Ref Snyder, I'd rather have Ref Snyder back up first, too. Wasn't aware Corey had a great sense of humor. Sorry, Corey, Mike Trout isn't coming to Boston. I know. I think if they put Bobby on the 2024 26-man roster, it's going to be in a very, hey, you're going to get one at-bat a week type situation. You know, where maybe they want to get Costas off his feet once every other week. Maybe they want to go to a right-handed hitter in place of Massa or in place of, I don't even know, Story. Thoughts on Rendon? He's such a dope. He really is. He's a dope. He's an absolute dope. Here's what I'll say. I think he's not the only player in the major leagues that treats this like a 9-to-5. I really don't. No, trade Massa. Terrible idea, Landon. I think he's not the only one who sits there and goes, I only play this because I'm naturally good at it. If I wasn't naturally good at it, I would be working at a surf shop in Southern California and living in a hut. That would make me happy more. Right, but I'm making $275 million, so I'm going to play Major League Baseball. And I don't think he's the only one. I think he's the only one stupid enough to openly admit that. Am I going to spring training? I can't, Landon. I can't get the days off of work. I want to so bad. I was thinking about taking a weekend trip and just driving down, but yeah, I don't know. You are? Yeah, I want to so bad. I just don't think I'm going to be able to. If Bobby could get his bat in check and consistently, it'd be something. Just my opinion. Oh, he definitely would be. Yeah, the problem is I don't know if he can get there consistently. Will Yoshida play? I honestly think what'll happen is Yoshida will play half of his games at DH and have O'Neill, Duran, and Montgomery and Abreu / Rafaela, whichever one ends up. Have them split the other time. Like I think he ends up. I would say he ends up playing 60 to 70 games in the outfield. Realistic pickup. Who do you think we can get to make the team better? Jordan Montgomery. I mean, it's the easiest answer. It's the right answer. Heading out, Eric. Thanks for talking, man. Outside of Montgomery, I don't really know, man. Because honestly, I don't think there's anyone outside of Montgomery. Maybe Snell, right, because of his ceiling, because of how good he can be, that truly makes a difference on this team. Adding a Lorenzen doesn't do a whole lot for me. Adding a Clevenger, one, probably wouldn't do well PR after a terrible PR season. And the fact that he said, I want to be on the Red Sox, they didn't sign him, probably says a lot about where they are with him. It's just, you get a Michael A. Taylor, you get a Tommy Pham, you get a Duvall, like great. You get a right-handed option, you get a Cooper, right? It's going to make you better, but it's not going to be a difference maker, Trade the shortstop we got from the Royals. He's a free agent. Probably not going to be playing baseball this year. Yeah, I agree, Rick. Can't stay, but have a great rest of the stream. Thanks, Evan. Thank you so much for coming by, man. Yeah, I did, Evan. We spoke on that a little bit. I can go over it again for those of you who are wondering. Maybe I could just pull up the tweet, actually. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let's just pull up, because a lot of people are asking about it, so let's just pull up the tweet. Oh, look, chat, there I am. So his tweet is source. Here in the Red Sox spoke to Jordan Montgomery last week and are trying to sign him at the right price. Feels like there's a decent chance the Sox get him. So here's my thoughts with this one more time for those of you who didn't hear it. I think what he's saying makes sense, but I also think it's nothing new. This isn't any if this was, oh man, the Red Sox are on the 10-yard line with Jordan Montgomery, then maybe it'd be like, oh crap. But this is, when you look at it, right, you break it down into pieces. Here in the Red Sox spoke to Jordan Montgomery last week. It's something we've known the Red Sox have been checking in on Montgomery this entire offseason. Are trying to sign him at the right price. If they weren't trying to do that, right, he'd already be signed. and then feels like there's a decent chance the Sox get him. It's just personal opinion. So, I think, I think there could be something to it. I'm not going to say there's not anything to it, obviously, because, he probably does have more information than I do. But I also think that it is something we've already seen before. Does that make sense? Like, overall, it's not super new information. Do the membership? I think I have to wait until exactly 30 days, which is like next week. Do I like the WWE? I can't get into the WWE, man. I've tried it a couple of times. I don't know. Can't get into it. Yeah, no, Thomas. I'm not saying he hasn't been right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he has been right before, which is why I think I don't think it's something to not take seriously. I'm just saying when you break the tweet down, there's nothing like new in it. That's just what I'm saying. Are the Red Sox in on Snell at all? I'd be shocked. Yeah, Fester. I don't think that's totally wrong. I just don't know what his consistency would look like if he came off the bench. Do you think we spend the money? I don't know. I think if was I at Winter Weekend? Oh yeah, I got a vlog on my channel if you want to check it out, Landon. Yeah, spending the money is interesting to me because it depends on the price. You were there too. It was a lot of fun. Only new thing with tweet is Sox are still talking to Monty. But again, like saying last week, we knew that. We knew that last week. We knew that they were talking last week. Or we knew that they had checked in last week. So again, like he's been right before, and I'm sure this is correct information. I'm just saying it's nothing we haven't seen yet. If the Sox get both Snell and Monty, my thoughts are going to be we're hitting 10,000 subscribers. No, my thoughts if the Red Sox get Montgomery and Snell is the entire landscape of the offseason is fully changed. Fully changed. This offseason is completely different than it was before. Completely. But they're not getting Monty and Snell. No way. It would be a miracle if they just got Monty. Bring the stash back, Corbin. It stays until we sign a legit starting pitcher. What do you want me to have that until 2025? Nah. No. That's a November thing because we need to raise money with that. You guys need an incentive, and the incentive is, please, for the love of God, Corbin, shave that. How many Red Sox games am I going to attend this year? Probably a pretty decent amount. Bring Corbin Burns next season. I would. That's a move I'd legitimately cry at. I think there's never been a Corbin on the Boston Red Sox. If he comes in the form of Corbin Burns, oh boy, I'd be the happiest. I'd be the happiest little Corbin east of Mississippi. If we get Jordan, you think even a playoff team, or it doesn't make a difference? I asked it for you, bro. Yeah, I'd be so pumped. I think if we get Jordan Montgomery, projections change a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Because right now, and we've already said this once on the live stream, I think, maybe twice, I don't remember, but you've got ESPN and Fangraphs saying these guys could be wild card contenders, right? They're projecting 82 wins. If you hit a hot streak, you get it, basically, is what those guys are saying. Now, obviously, things can change very, very quickly. Very quickly. But you add in Montgomery into that. And here's why I think you become a legitimate conversation to at least be competitive within this division. And I think the reason for that is because you now go from, okay, you've got Giolito, who you know is going to give you innings, but it's kind of a question mark in terms of what quality of innings those are going to be. You've got Brian Bayo, who you know are going to give you innings. He did it for 2/3 of the year last year, 3/4 of the year last year. Question's going to be, what step up does he take? And is that enough to cement him as a number one, number two guy? You've got Cutter Crawford, who, okay, can this guy be a consistent number 4 pitcher in a big league organization? Then you've got Nick Pivetta, who's going to give you a ton of innings. He's going to give you 30 starts. Is that slider, is his mentality enough to cement him in the rotation, right? You add Montgomery into that, and then all of a sudden, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, pressure kind of moves off of everybody because everyone's bumped down one. You know, Monty's the ace of the Red Sox. He's not really an ace. He's going to be your number 1 pitcher. Then you got Brian Bayo, who no longer has to put on his shoulders that he's an ace, and he's also going to give you innings. So now in your 1 and your 2, you've got 2 guys who are more than likely every time out, or 95% of the times they step on the mound, they're going to give you 6 innings, and they're going to give your team a chance to win. Will it be ace caliber? No, but it's going to be able to give you a chance to win every time you go out there. Then you put Giolito in the 3rd spot. Again, another guy you know is going to be able to give you innings. That's where your question marks start. But now you can put 3 guys into a bin, and even if you want to include Nick Pivetta in that, you can put 4 guys into a bin of these guys are going to go out there and they're going to give your bullpen a chance. Right? They're going to give your offense a chance. What does that look like at the bottom half of that bin? You know, past the Bayo, what does that look like? That's a different question, but you've now got a ton of innings in your rotation. And to me, that's what absolutely sunk the 2022 or 2023 Red Sox is you just didn't have all those innings in one bin. You just spread it out. You ended up with starters going, 3 innings, 4 innings. You ended up with openers twice a week at some point during the season, and it burnt out your bullpen. If you can leave your bullpen the way it is and get those innings and rely on your offense, there's a spark there that could be had. And I also think, on top of that too, getting Montgomery in terms of talking about pushing towards the playoffs, you look at the comments that have been made, the Kenleys, the Devers, signing Montgomery changed the landscape for these players too, because it's saying, hey, maybe we didn't go out and get Yamamoto for $400 million or whatever it would have actually taken for him to not go to LA, because it appears as though it would have been a lot of goddamn money, right? But we got you the best pitcher that we think fits well with this team. Go out and do something. Right? And to me, that's a big boost to a roster that needs a big boost. What's up, Ethan? What's my opinion on Cora? I love Alex Cora, but I don't see him here much longer. What's up, Jay? Might have missed earlier. Thoughts on Rafi's comments today? Thoughts on Sean McAdam? I haven't taken a look at the Sean McAdam article yet. I'll probably look at that once I get off stream. Devers I loved. I love the Devers stuff. I think him being able to openly talk about himself and talk about his opinion of the future of this club is big in his sort of development as a person and a figurehead within this team. And so I loved it. Ben, maybe you just saved the Red Sox season. Have I gotten a ball from a game? No, I've never gotten a foul ball. I've gotten balls handed to me on my mom's 40th birthday. Appreciate the follow on Twitter, Frankie. On my mom's 40th birthday, we got a ball from Clay Buckholz. I think it was 40th. God, I don't know, man. I'm old. 45th? And then Papelbon gave us one, too. That's all right, Ethan. No problem. Pap is awesome. Pap likes to speak his mind, man. It's always entertaining. Caught a puck from a college hockey game. That's more impressive, I think, than a baseball. That's really impressive because there's no way I'm doing that. Yeah, Pap is a nice guy. No, Hendricks is on the 60-day IL, so he does not. There's still one more open slot in the roster. I agree with that, Gritty. And one of the things I keep seeing people say is how could he say that and sort of throw his teammates under the bus? It sounds like he doesn't really care, all that stuff, but man, I look at that and I say, for Rafi to go up there and openly speak his mind like that with who he is as a player, I think he understands that he speaks for the team. I really do. I really do. And so for me, I really don't think it has anything to do with, oh, he's thinking about himself. He's thinking about blah, 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 blah. Yeah, people saying that it was a bad thing for him to do that, I think are mistaken. That's also pretty. I've always wanted to catch a foul ball. I think my fear now, and I think I've talked about this before, but my fear now with having a platform is missing the foul ball and having it be on Ness and cameras. Honestly, that's my biggest fear. Imagine you're watching a game and you see me like, and it just bounces straight through my hands. Oh God. I'd get tweets. People would bring it up in every live stream for the rest of the year. It'd be like, that's my worst nightmare. So now I don't want a foul ball. Now I'm good. Now I'm good. Yeah, have a nice one, Landon. So I'm fully out on catching a foul ball now. Oh, yeah, 100 times. Yeah. No one would let me forget that. So that's my biggest fear. The other part of me is like, but dude, imagine if you're on camera, you got the hat up here, and you just reach over one-handed, save your girlfriend, catch it like this. That'd make you look really cool. Problem is, I don't trust myself to do that with a 100-mile-an-hour scorcher coming at me. That is awesome, undrafted. Yeah, see, that must have been a home run ball. Lionel. That's sort of what it would be. It'd be like, that kid over there in the red seat hat, because they don't know who I am. They'd be like, that kid over there in the red seat hat just torched it. Think of the views you'd get. It might be worth it, Rick. If I got 10,000 views on that video, it'd be worth it. But to sit there and have the memes for years, I don't know. Devers to be a different maker. How's Cora going to handle the team? If I'm Cora, I'm using all of this as fuel. I'm going in there and I'm saying, look, once the 26-man's taken, once they're about to go into opening day, here's what I'm saying. I am plastering predictions. I'm plastering headlines, right, all over. He did the pictures on the wall of every win for 2018. What I would do is I'd plaster Tony Maz, James Murray, Dan Shaughnessy, who hopefully has a speedy recovery. I plaster in all the headlines. This team isn't good enough. Boston sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying this is what out there they think of you. Here's what I think of you in here. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, Shooter, I don't know. I think I think that could have a big impact. Devers or Cora's feeding Rafi that opinion. Here's what I think, Mike. I think Devers ran by his opinion with Cora, and Cora said, do it. That's sort of what my opinion is. I did hear that Kluber retired. He was a good guy. Sucks that he ended his career so poorly with the Red Sox. So poorly. Hot take. Someone else. Oh, you'd get torched like that guy at Wrigley who blocked the Cubs from winning the playoff game? God, I hope not. I know it's not flashy, but if we're not going anywhere, we should bring Kike back for center field defense. I think that double hernia surgery just made him have a down year. Man, I don't know. I think after everything that happened in 23, I don't really understand it either, Jay. I think they're just looking for someone to blame, to be honest with you. My pick for Red Sox best starter of the year, Brian Bayo. All right, Al. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Go 603. Over under Aaron Judge 45 home runs. Under. I think he hits 40. I think he's injured for a portion of the season. Under over Rafi 33.5 home runs. Over. I think it's 35. Under over Mookie Betts 32.5 home runs. Over. I think it's 33. Cutter's a good one too. You're going to go see the Sox in Cincinnati this year? Cincinnati should be a fun team, man. Cincinnati should be a fun team to root for this year. I'm hoping the Red Sox are like that. Over under Brian Bayo 3.4 ERA. I'm going to say over but under 4. I think it'll be at like 3.8, which would be incredible. If he can get to 3.8, he had a really good year. That's where I think he ends up. I think he takes a big step forward this year. That'd be almost a full... Does Votto have a team? No, I don't think so. Is that a full ERA down? Or a full earned run down? So you said under 3.4. You had a 3.2. So it's basically a full earned run down for the entire season. I don't think he gets that far. Votto signed with the Nationals? Oh. Brian Bayo, ERA 2.98. That'd be nuts. I'd go, Jay. Just to see. Tampa's moving soon, too. So, or they're getting a new stadium. So, I don't know. Tatis under over 30. I would say over for Tatis. I would say under for Mike Trout because I just don't think he'll be able to be healthy. I'd be down to trade for Harold Ramirez. I'd just be terrified of trading with the Tampa Bay Rays. Honestly, I'd avoid that at all costs. Bucket list stadiums to visit. PNC Park. A game at San Diego. St. Louis. And Dodger Stadium. Oh no, Votto's still a free agent. Votto's still a free agent. No, probably not, Ethan. Evaldi trade, yeah, that one did work out pretty well, but we've also been screwed. Zach Lytle, he's now in their rotation. Who's that other guy we sent down there, pitching wise, that we got absolutely cooked on? Have a nice night, Lionel. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Anyone else feel like there's more ads tonight? There shouldn't be. Jeffrey Springs, yeah, that's it. PNC's the best, yeah. I want to go so bad. Did Diekman do well with the Rays? Did he even end up with the Rays, or did he come from the Rays? No, he was fairly decent on the Rays. Over under Tyler O'Neill, 110 games players. I'm going to say under, but not a ton under. Like 100 games. Oh, Jalen Bleeks, something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I know, Shooter. I can't wait for that. Jalen Beeks, that's it. Who do you want to win? Who do you think will win the division this year? I think it'll be the Orioles. Yeah, he didn't come straight from the... Yeah, I guess that's true. I think the Orioles will end up doing it. Depending on how long Kyle Bradish is out, I think they have a good shot. Under over when Boris guys start signing March 1st. Like a majority of them. I would say under. I think they hold out until till games start, and then they start to get a little especially guys like Chapman and Bellinger. I think those guys. Chapman, in my opinion, is like. Yeah, Chapman to me is like, okay, I'm going to get signed at some point. Wait, what did I say? Oh, July. July of next year, Monty signs. Boris guys sit out this season? Yeah. Yeah, Story's power of the beard, I think, is real. Do you think Durant will be worse, same, better than last year? It's going to be hard. The problem is it's going to be hard for Durant to be as good as he was last year, in my opinion. Like, as good as he was last year. If he's as good as he was last year, he'll get MVP votes. For a full season, he'll get MVP votes. Like, if he has a 121 OPS plus with, how many stolen bases did he have? He had 24 stolen bases, 102 games. Say he plays like 140 games. And what is that? 24. Hold on, doing some math. 24 divided by 102 equals times 30. That's 33 stolen bases. That's a stupid amount of doubles. That's like 50 doubles. Like that would be a ridiculous season. So I think he's a little bit worse, but I still think he's solid. No, Costas already shaved it. Brian Anderson. Pitching, man. Pitching. I agree, Jay. Pitching. Brian Anderson. Third baseman and right fielder. Yeah, he's fine. What was his splits? Was he a righty? Is he good against lefties? Did he? Yeah. He's like, he's got that little like tennis ball fuzz cut, you know what I'm talking about? And he's got a shaven face. Maybe he brings it back over the season, though. Yeah, I think I'm good on Brian Anderson just because he's not very good against lefties. If he was good against lefties, I'd say, all right. Boris Klein signed mid-2025. Yeah. Man, just sign already. It's driving me nuts because I'm holding on to hope that I just need it to be crushed. I need to be crushed. I need an answer. Dearest 30,000. Like, I genuinely, just crush me, please. Because at least then, if I'm crushed. I didn't laugh at all during live stream last week. Yeah, last week was a bit of a rough week for me. Oh, the one before that? What was the one? Oh, it was the camera one. Yeah. It's been a rough start to the year. I need to watch. I know I do, Prodigy. I'll get on that at some point. Where's the Foco link? I don't think my Foco link's active during the off season, to be honest with you. You can still go to Foco.com. Let me it should pop up in chat at some point, Ethan. I might buy the Sea Dogs games this year. Sea Dogs are going to be I got to get up there. I want to get up to Sea Dogs games real bad. What, Mike? Costas really immersed himself in Boston culture in the offseason and probably did tons of work on his hitting. Yeah, Costas also slimmed down, man. He looks good. I'm very excited to see him. Yeah, I've got to get up to Portland this offseason. Or this season. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try and get a press pass for Portland, actually. Want to be crushed. Oh. Have I been to Worcester? Yeah, I did a private stadium tour with the guy who like runs all the TV stuff for Worcester. I love that. His name's His name's Brendan Black. He's a great guy. And he gave me a private stadium tour for a video. Can Costas run faster than 10 seconds to first now? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, if I get up to Portland for a couple of games, maybe a weekend series or something, and write it off. Run to you back. The train's a pretty cool thing. Come see me in Portland. Yeah, I'll announce it and stuff. If I'm going to Portland, I'll announce it. But my goal is to get a press pass for Portland and talk to Teal or Anthony at least. Maybe do some fun interviews because I always feel like my interviews are very serious and I don't want them to be. I just get nervous. You guys saw me. Yeah, if you watch the Winter Weekend video, you know what I'm talking about. I just got nervous. Thoughts on Grissom and Story up the middle? I love it. Right off a PC build? Yeah, that's the plan. I love Story Grissom up the middle. I think they already have some decent chemistry. I think the two of them, I think Story will make Grissom a much, much better defender. Not a good defender, but a better defender. I think seeing what Trevor Story does on a day-to-day basis is going to be big for him. And I think he brings some solidarity to a position where there has not been a lot of solidarity. Solidarity is the right word? Solidity, I think I'm trying to say. Solidarity is like, we're in this together. That's not really what I meant. I meant like, who's going to be our shortstop this series? You know what I mean? All right, Mike. Let me know, man. Yeah, I think Grissom will become a fan favorite. The kid can flat out hit. I know. Red Seat fan meetup game. I talked about this a little bit last year. I don't know if I'm big enough for a fan meetup. Like my biggest fear is because I can't be like, all right, everyone come meet me at the bleacher bar before the game. One, because I think a lot of you guys, a good majority of people that follow me or would come to this would be under 21. But two, because I'd have to call the bar ahead of time. Or wherever I'm meeting ahead of time and say something like, hey, I'm a Red Sox YouTuber doing a meetup. And then get there and they've like they blocked off like a room or something. And it's just me, my girlfriend, and like, I don't know, shooter. You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest fear. So I do want to do meetups at some point. Under 21, I wish. I know, same. I saw a vid. Yeah, that's Dill. Yeah, that's what scares me. Which player will take the biggest jump? Biggest step forward, I think, will be Cutter. I think it'll be Cutter. You block a room off and let me know. I'll take the train to Boston. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It'll be me and Mike. I think it'll be Cutter who takes the biggest step forward. Like, in terms of leap, right? Like Trevor, to me, being good this year isn't a leap. Costas being good this year, in my opinion, isn't a leap. A guy like Cutter being a legitimate significant person, yeah, true, Mike, you would. A significant, legitimate player on this rotation will not only do wonders for the rotation, but it's not something that's been widely accepted. And to me, I think it's something that could be realistic. And so that's why I say Cutter. Because you look at all the other players. The other one too would be Grissom, in my opinion, but we haven't really seen Grissom with the Red Sox yet, so that's tough for me to say. But like, again, Duran had a breakout last year. If he's good this year, it's not really a leap. It's a continuation, an approval of he is a legitimate big leaguer. Willier, I think, is a candidate for this. Rafi, I would say Rafi could make a leap defensively, although I'm not going to put money on that. Excuse me. Like Connor Wong, I don't think's taking a leap. I'm just going through the lineup right now, and then I'm going through the bullpen and everything. Yeah, Camden's a beautiful park. Absolutely. We need someone to have a baby on the team. Dad power. That we got Story. And Devers has dad power. I'm pretty sure Devers has like 3 kids. Over under Devers 7,000 errors this season. I would say slightly under. 6,998. No. I think having Story next to him will make him look a lot better. I'm pretty sure Devers has children. I'm pretty sure. I know he's got a wife. I'm not positive, but I think he has kids. I think. I'm doing another look up here. Bayo did have a kid, yeah. Story will have like 7. Rafi will be 50 years old and people will be like, he's got a wife and kids, he looks 13. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Devers, in my opinion, one of the bigger like sinking things of Devers' defensive last season was he felt as though because Kike was doing so poorly, he needed to cover more ground, and it was just, he just doesn't have the range to do that. And then he gets in his head about it. And so this year, there's a lot less pressure on it. If he's trying to get to a ball in the hole, Story more than likely has got it, right? Either way, Story has a better chance on it, so he has to cover less ground, and I think that's going to have a big impact on his at least total errors. I think honestly, the most we've seen Rafi. Yeah, he does, Mike. He looks young, man. He also doesn't look happy at all to be in Yankee Stadium. What we saw felt like most of the time from Devers last year was he was making errors on like balls in front of him. Like he would go bare hand or he would go gloved and he would lose in the transfer. And again, I think that's something that Trevor Story can help with. And maybe it's not, I'm going to take these balls, Rafi, especially like the slow dribblers up the line, but it's going to be hey, this is, I'm the second best defensive shortstop in Major League Baseball, maybe third, right? Dansby, Lindor, me. This is how I do it. I think that'll be important. I also think having Story there as just someone he knows really well. Yeah, that'd be great, Ethan. Yeah, I think he does too, Rick. I think he's got a couple of kids. If Story played the whole season last year, he would have been a Gold Glove combo. I'm hopeful that this is... Yeah, Joey. I think he wins a Gold Glove if he played the full season. Who won the Gold Glove for the NL in shortstops last year? Was it Volpe? Devers would have benefited attending Camp Story. Yeah, I mean maybe, right? But I think it's more important that Story... I honestly, in my opinion, that camp, yeah, it'll help, right? It'll help. But I think it was more so to build camaraderie and get to know the young kids and sort of establish himself as a leading voice amongst the young core in the Red Sox more than it was, hey, I'm going to turn Nick York into a defensive superstar. You know what I mean? So would it have helped? Yeah. I don't think it changes his game completely. I think him getting time with Story for 20 or so games in the spring and everything right there, he's going to be much more of an impact. I apologize if you already talked about him, but what do you think of the Sox signing Liam Hendricks yesterday? Good addition to the bullpen? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have more ads than Mark Plyer. I swear to God, I do the same thing every time. I just let YouTube do it. I say less frequent, and then I call it a day. So I have no idea what I did this time to do more ads. I truly am not trying to do that. I swear to God, guys. I promise you. I'm not trying to drown you in ads. I don't know what happened. Seems a lot tonight. Yeah, I don't know. As for that, Carl, I would say that it was a good signing. It's a little bit of a risk, but the fact that he's not getting paid a lot this year, and honestly, he's not really getting paid a ton that year. Next year, I think it's solid. I think for what you could get out of Hendricks is really good. Why you get that moolah? No ads all stream. All right, maybe it's just members who are getting ads, which would be brutal. I don't think that's the case, but that would suck. I have no idea. I'm pretty surprised, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just targeting random people. Maybe it's just like that Mike guy. Seen about 6. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, 6 over 2 hours. That's not terrible. It's not great. I'll look at it. I'll look into it. Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer at spring training. Which one gets on 25 roster? One must go on. Like one has to go on. I think I go Roman Anthony just because Marcelo needs to prove he's healthy. That's it, right? If Marcelo could prove that he's healthy, I think it's Marcelo, but he needs time. Maybe you are getting targeted, Gritty. Maybe they're like Gritty and Mike. I'm liking this video. Yeah, I put the ads to only people who pay for this channel. That's it. Smart business decision, Corbin. No, I didn't do that. Just for some clarification here. I keep looking at. Oh yeah, Joe. Oh yeah, I'll definitely be at Worcester at some point. My goal is to get to Portland and hopefully get a press pass at Portland, but we'll see. Where can you watch spring training games? I think a lot of them are on Nesson I think all of them are on WEI, so you can listen to them. Most of them are on Nesson. Your monthly payments will be decreasing this month. Mike, I swear, I promise. I'm not targeting you. Have I ever been to? Did I ever go to Pawtucket? Yeah, I went when I was young. I don't really remember it too much. I just remember kind of stinking outside. If I'm being honest with you. Yeah, Dill. Good idea. Who makes the Major League roster for catchers? They have Heineman, Roberto Perez, Juan McGuire. I'm going to go kind of crazy here, Romero, and I'm going to say that it is Wong and Heineman. There's no way you had 10 ads. No way. I'll figure it out after stream, Mike. I honestly don't know why that happened, but I will figure it out. I was listening to MLB on Sirius XM this morning, and they were hammering the Yankees in their pitching. Shocked. Reese Trader to down to Worcester. I think he has an option, so I would say down to Worcester maybe. I think Reese is going to be a battle. Like I mentioned in my video for spring training, I think Reese is going to be a big battle for a catching spot. I think he has an option. He might not. If he doesn't, then we've got an option. He doesn't have an option. I wouldn't. He's 28 versus Heineman. And Heineman's a better defensive catcher. Heineman's a better defensive catcher. He is. Oh, he's older. He does have a minor league option, so maybe they do end up putting Reese on the roster for opening day. $5 super chat from Dennis. I appreciate you, Dennis. Thank you so much. Gotta go, Corbin. Thanks as always. You're the best in this old Vietnam vet's opinion. I appreciate your service, Dennis. And 2, thank you so much. Can we get some claps in the chat? Thank you. Heineman's on a minor league deal? Yeah. But I genuinely think there could be some competition between Heineman and Reese for opening day. I do. I don't think they're super satisfied with Reese at the catching position. And if they're confident that Kyle Teal can get up by the end of this year, I think it becomes even more of a let's go for defense over, you know what I mean, youth with some offensive potential, I guess, with Reese. I don't really know what you call offensive potential there. But either way, right? So, Dahlbeck makes the team, yes or no? I'm going to say yes. I don't know if they add another bat. So I'm going to say yes. Two about Latkas? Oh, that's interesting. Reese can't throw anyone out. He's mad blocking. Okay, framing according to Fangraphs. Yeah, kind of. What's wrong with Wong? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with Wong, in my opinion. He just can't catch every game. Just he's not and really no catcher can catch 162 games. He played 126 games last year. It's probably what I'd expect him to catch this year. Probably what I'd expect him to catch this year. So you still need someone. Another ad. This is crazy. Maybe it's because I set the limit on this is 2 hours. So maybe it's because we're going over. I don't really know. Some people are getting targeted. I appreciate that, Prodigy. Yeah, we have to figure out a family-friendly place to meet up, which could be an interesting, like Cask and Flagon would work. There's not really like any like, although I think honestly, as long as you're not going to the bar, yeah, I don't really know where you'd meet. Chuck E. Cheese. Trade Valdez, Dahlbeck, or Massa for pitching. They're just redundant at this point. Yeah, that's not going to happen. None of those players are going to bring back anything. And trading Massa is a dumb idea. So please no. David Busters would be fun. You're in LA? Yeah. I would. The other thing, too, is I'd feel so bad. Like, people are saying... What is going on with the advertisements? I swear to God, I'm not controlling them, chat. YouTube is fighting me back. I don't know why. So this is what I mean, right? New Jersey about like that. I would feel so bad for people like getting hotels just to go to a meet and greet. I don't know. I'd feel terrible. So Devers can DH. I don't hate the idea. Rafi Devers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Rafi. Big season this year, huh? I don't hate the idea of Devers at DH. But I also don't. I would rather, honestly, I'd rather just when Rafi's ready, bring him into the DH position. I don't want to force him into a DH spot for the next, because you got to think about it too. He's here for the next 10 years. Loco Taco might be the place to go, Romero, because Bleacher Bar would be 21 over only, right? I think it's 21 over only. You'd like to play left field? Imagine they come out and they're like, yeah, we signed Matt Chapman and Rafi's going to play left field. I'm in on it, man. I'm in. Whatever you want to do, Rafi, as long as you're in this lineup, it's okay with me. Brother. Imagine when I was talking to real Rafi Devers, I'm just laughing at his face. I'm sorry, Rafi. I think Devers will get a lashing from ownership after his comments today? No, what are they going to say? Willier right field, Duran center field, O'Neal left field. I think it'll be Willier left field, O'Neal right field, Duran center field, just because O'Neal can cover more ground. Yeah, what are they going to tell Rafi? Don't speak your mind? Okay, great, trade me. Okay, great, trade me. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, Jackster. Which player do you think will blow up and shine this year? My pick is Massa. For most improved, I like Massa a lot. I like Massa a lot. What do you think will happen with the bench, Lawson? With the bench? I think it'll be Pablo. Are they going to be Pablo? Obviously a catcher. Bob and Ref? Yeah. Grissom. I see Grissom to me for most improved. I don't put him in the most improved category because he hasn't really had a full season in Major League Baseball yet. So, you know, that's my line of thinking, at least when it comes to Grissom. Rafi, I'm moving to DH. Wait on that. Moss needs to be left field DH. Besides, it's way too soon. Yeah, exactly, Joe. I agree with you. You think Cedon could play some second base? I don't think so. What a chance we bring in Pablo Sandoval on a redemption tour? God, 0. Can he be Rookie of the Year? Who, Grissom? No. Raphael. Listen, iTalk has been right in the past. I don't know if he tweeted anything else. No. iTalk has been right in the past, but I don't think this is any information we haven't seen yet. So unless he gives us like a Montgomery signing within the next 2 days, or he's signing right now with the Red Sox. All right, thanks for coming by, Mike. I don't think it's anything to get super pumped about, but that's just my personal opinion. Could I see Grissom playing some shortstop? I don't think so, no. Wonder how the bullpen winds up. I think it'll be fairly similar to last year, but I think we'll have Isaiah Campbell and Justin Slayton in it. A hedge in New Hampshire. What do you think about Fangraphs having the Red Sox 10th in their 2024 power rankings? I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think Fangraphs isn't too far off with the reasoning behind it. I think a lot has to go right for it to happen, but I think it is possible. Yes, Mike, I'm purposely targeting only you. I swear, I'm only doing... Let me see if it tells me. Stream settings. Analytics. No. Stream activity. No. Shopping. Stream health. No. Yeah, I don't even have it. Yeah. Yeah, if story goes down, yeah. Zach Weiser and Zach Kelly, or Greg Weiser and Zach Kelly, I think, have a shot of making it. I don't think Luis Guerrero makes it out of camp. He's really only like an 8th, 9th inning guy, and they already have that. The only way I see that is if they do end up trading Kenley, which I don't think is going to happen. Let me look up. I just want to see. Did I spell Luis Guerrero right? Minor league players. Yeah, he only spent 6 games with the Worcester Red Sox last year. And he has 7.71 ERA. Still a 17.4 K per 9, a 13.5 walk per 9. I think they're going to give him some time there. I think Pedroia and me yelling at owners will make him go out there and pay Monty. Rafi, I really hope so. Must be something with YouTube because I tried to give memberships and wasn't showing up, but I got a receipt for them. Yeah, it doesn't show up on here. I tried to gift membership today too, actually, Versatility. I would request money back on that because, yeah, I think memberships are down. I think that's why. Yeah. Which really sucks because you should get the acknowledgement for that, Versatility. But yeah, I don't think it's working right now. All right, chat. It's been real tonight. We've had a lot of fun. We've gone over a lot. There's been a lot of talk tonight. Yeah, the YouTube gods really screwed us recently. Versatility. Not a lot of fun. But we made it. We did it. Showed up in an hour. Yeah, but if it happens on live stream, Tracy, also, thank you so much for joining. I forgot to say thank you, so thank you. But, yeah, on live streams, it comes up, like, in the chat. So, for it not to come up. Yeah, it did. It screwed both of us tonight, Mike. They just sent me a refund after I said that. Yeah, something's going on with, maybe I lost membership status, but you guys still have your things. So either way, chat, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all these live streams. I have a ton of fun. We're getting close to live streaming we're already live streaming every week and build up to live streaming every week. If that makes sense. During the season, we stream every single week, but we will be live. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not doing anything. Probably next Tuesday to recap another week of Red Sox spring training. We'll actually have some games to talk about, which will be kind of fun. First game is Friday, Chad. We've got baseball back in Friday. I want 10K too. Real bad versatility. We're getting there. We're almost halfway there towards our goal there. Less than 600 away. So hopefully we can get there before opening day. 580 shy. Yep. We're getting closer. We're within the 500s, which is incredible. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, if you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day, and we're 580 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. So if you'd like to help us get there, hit that subscribe button. Whew. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button. It just helps these videos out a ton. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you all so much for tonight. I appreciate you, Mike, Dennis, all the new members, all the returning members. Robbie's on. Head over to Robbie's channel. He's the man. He loves talking baseball. Incredible person. Either way, I will see you guys tomorrow for a video recapping everything the players have said this weekend. Basically crapping on ownership, which will be a fun video. I'm sure the comment section will be respectful. Either way, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. And I will see you all in the Red Sea.